Hello students, welcome back. Let us start with a brand new chapter. That's chapter 14 of your textbook, Statistics. This is my personal favorite. It's a little lengthy, but trust me, it's the easiest of all. And once you get a hang of it, you are absolutely going to love it. So let's see the topics that we are going to cover. Introduction, collection of data, presentation of data. Under presentation of data in future, when we reach this topic, we'll be touching bar graphs, histograms, and other pictorial representation of data. Measures of central tendency and summary. So let's get started with the introduction. So when I talk about introduction, I'm going to first talk about information. So we come across information nowadays in various formats. It could be in the form of tables, graphs, literature, etc. Right? So where does all this information come from? It comes through different media. So the keyword here is different media. So when I say use the term media, the first thought that must have occurred to you is about either television or news. But no, that theory is flawed. Media is derived from the word medium, which means nothing but. Medium means a channel through which you convey something. Since we are talking about statistics, information, our medium or media is going to be a channel through which you are going to distribute information or through which information is available. So we are talking nothing about the sources. So what could be the sources of information in our day-to-day life? We get a lot of information through news, through newspapers, to television, then social media, books, YouTube, and so on. So I'll say etc. Okay. Now, this information could either be, since we're saying that information is available in different formats like tables, graphs, literature, information could either be theoretical, that is, it must be having only a written content, or it could be numerical, where a lot of numbers are involved. So in statistics, we are going to deal with the numerical part. So what exactly, when I say numerical information, numerical information is going to be nothing but data. But there can be a lot of junk numerical information as well. For example, if you're looking up for phone numbers in a telephone directory, right? But if in your book you have roll numbers written as well, are they of any use to you? No, the roll numbers are going to be junk details for you. So that is going to be junk data. So numerical information with facts collected with purpose. So with a purpose. The purpose here is very important. Like I said, if you're looking up in your book where you've written down your friends' phone numbers and roll numbers, only the phone numbers are of importance to you. So that will be your data at that instance of time. So what is data? It's numerical information with facts collected with a purpose. Now data is a Latin word derived, data is derived from a Latin word, datum. This is a Latin word. Now it would be very easy for you to collect data if you were looking for phone numbers of your friends. But let's say you want to gather some information for some analysis purpose. For example, the population of India that has been in the previous year, or in the previous decade, or in the current year. Then you will have to look up through sources online. So when you look up for sources online, the best approach you could give is the internet. That you could follow is the internet. But what happens in the internet? How do they get the information? They gather information, and there's a lot of processing that happens using statistics. So statistics what is statistics? Statistics is nothing but it's a field of science, a branch of mathematics that deals with 4 basic steps. So it's a branch of mathematics Just like we have other branches of mathematics broadly classified into algebra and geometry, statistics is also a branch of mathematics that deals only with data. Just like algebra deals with a lot of variables, x, y, polynomials, linear equations, simultaneous equations, then you have geometry with finding the area or the volume or doing constructions. We have statistics dealing with data, numerical data. Okay, this is a branch of mathematics which is concerned with gathering meaningful information. So I am shouting out loud here because I've put everything in caps, meaningful information. Just like I mentioned over here while I was talking about data, that only the phone numbers of your friends are very important to you. Only data that you're going to deal with is going to be meaningful information. Statistics is going to be dealing with that. So statistics follows 4 basic approaches. Initially, it was only collecting and organizing of data. But since we are dealing with a lot of information or data these days, statistics started being used for other purposes also, which was analysis and interpretation. So now basically what statistics is doing, it's chronologically dealing with 4 steps: collecting of data, organizing of data, analysis and interpretation. So what happens, let's say, I will give you an example. Let's say you belong to a class of 50 students, okay, and you've been assigned a task to divide the students according to their heights. So let's say there is student A whose height is 3.2 feet. There is student P whose height is 4.6 feet. Then you have student R whose height is 5 feet. There is student S whose height is 3 feet. And the maximum and minimum amount, the heights that you observe is between 3 feet to 5 feet. So I'll put this another name V because it looks like a 5. So the maximum minimum height that you find is 3 feet to 5 feet. And there are 50 such students, up to 50 records. There are 50 such records that you have. So initially what you have done is you have collected the data of all the students. That is, you have collected the names and respective height of each of the 50 students somewhere, maybe in an Excel sheet or on a paper, right? So what you've done is you've collected. But don't you think scanning through or going through all these records whenever you want to pick up some information is going to be very tedious? This is just 50 records, but just imagine a country or an organization with thousands of employees. If you would need to find the height of some person, then it would be so difficult to scan through so many records. So that is why we have organizing. So how do you organize? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the upper limit and the lower limit. Upper limit here is 5 and lower limit is 3. So as the name suggests, lower is the least value of your data and upper limit is the highest value of your data. That is, we are now talking about the heights in feet. So this is the lowest value and this is the highest value. So what I'm going to do is, since the maximum, there is very less difference between the height groups, that is 3 to 5, I'm going to divide this into intervals. So what I will do is I will write 3 feet to 3.2 feet, then 3.2 feet to 3.4 feet, then 3.4 feet to 3.6 feet, and from 4.8 feet to 5 feet, right? Now what I'm going to do is all the students who belong under this category, the first category, I'm going to write down their names. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to organize my data so that it looks much more simplified, right? So I'll say, let's say we had A, we had C, we had N, okay? We had some number of students here. Then we had some number of students here. It could be, now we have 3 point, okay, this was, let's say this is B. We have 3.2 here, so I'll say A, and there was V as well over here, A, M, and so on. And I will fill in the rest of the columns, right? So once I have organized all the names besides their height groups, what I will do is I will write down their count. Let's say there are about 10 students here, then some 5 students here, some 3 students here, some 15 students here, and so on, okay? So this will be from 3 feet to 3.2 feet. See, there are missing data over here because this is just for example purposes. We will look at thorough examples when we are doing the solved exercises and the exercises of your textbook. And 4.8 feet to 5 feet. So, and let's say the total number of students was 50, right? So this count will be 50. Now all this is not 50. Why? Because there are missing data over here. So what I have done is I have thoroughly organized my data. Now I'm analyzing it. So analyzing means I'm just trying to understand what is there. That is, this, I'm going to give this headings. I'm going to say this is a group, this is going to be names, and this is going to be count. So now analysis is very easy. How? My understanding becomes much more simplified because I do not have to go through 50 records, but I just have to go through intervals. I know who belong or classes out here. I know which students belong in this interval and what is their respective count, right? So this has been my analysis. Now what about interpretation? Interpretation is nothing but drawing conclusions or inferences. Now since I have this count, let's say there were only, for now, just ignore that this missing data is here. What do you get to see from this table? That that in this class, that is, there are just 3 students, that the minimum number of students with belong to which height group? 3.4 feet to 3.6 feet. The maximum number of students belong to which group? They belong to this group. Why? Because there are 15 students out here. So this was nothing but drawing inferences. So there could be other questions pertaining to drawing interpretation. This was the simplest one that I could give. Once we see the solved exercises and the exercises of your textbooks, then it will become much more clearer because we're just doing examples here just to make you understand. So this was about statistics and its 4 steps. Statistics, nothing but the approach or process of gathering meaningful information and its 4 steps. Now, just let me grab a duster. So I hope you've taken down notes of this. I will have to erase this section because there's a very tiny part that is pending, that how the term statistics varies depending upon the situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down 2 examples taken down from your textbooks itself. So just give me a while I write down the sentences. So the first sentence is, I want information about the educational statistics of India. And the other one is example 2. I like to study statistics as it's very simple and interesting. So let me first highlight statistics and statistics. So coming back to the first statement, I want information about the educational statistics of India. Don't you think here the term educational could be replaced by any other term. It could be political statistics, it could be military statistics. So here what is happening is statistics is nothing but it's in plural form and it is dealing with some numerical value, right? So this term can vary. Here it's just about gathering of data. But here I like to study statistics as it is very simple and interesting. Statistics is nothing but it is a subject. Now the subject, I'm giving emphasis to this, is because its meaning will remain unchanged in this context. Why? Because here it's going to be a subject, just like we have other subjects like geography. In geography, you would not study about the Egyptian civilization or the Indus Valley civilization or about the emperors or Mahabharata, or you're not going to study about the temperature conditions, and you're not going to study about geographical, you're not going to study about, let's say, Newton's law. Why? Because we're studying about geography, we're not studying about history. All those things will come under history, right? So here the statistics is a subject which is about collecting meaningful information, and 4 important steps, that is collection, organization, analysis and interpretation. So I hope you got a basic idea about the introduction, that what we are going to deal with in this chapter. Lots and lots of numbers and fun sessions. Thank you for watching this video.
Hope this video increased your knowledge. For more such videos and a completely free educational content, log on to www.epathshala.org or visit our ePathshala YouTube channel. We have each and every question solved for maths, physics, chemistry and biology. So subscribe our channel, share with your friends, like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter handle for regular updates and important educational tips, and also win ePathshala goodies. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe this channel and enjoy the freedom of education.